Howdy, partner. Today we're going to be talking about the current state of WWE 2K24. So I do want to give my initial thoughts. As the script that I made about 3 months ago, I said that this game is pretty good. I like the game. It's fun. However, it's been a few months now, and the game's problems are really starting to show itself, both from a game perspective and also a 2K perspective. But before we get into the bad stuff, the negatives, my dislikes, etc., I want to talk about the good stuff. The good stuff about the game. So firstly, I think the game is actually fun. I know that might be controversial. I know that might be subjective. Fun is subjective to everyone. But I personally think the gameplay, the core gameplay, is fun in itself. At least singles matches are. But overall, the core gameplay is fine. Like, it's not bad. I played worse. Trust me, I've played worse wrestling games than this. The roster is still pretty good. Like, I mean, you got 200 wrestlers in the game, so it's not like, from a roster perspective, it's pretty loaded. You got probably the best roster you could possibly think of. Well, I mean, I guess you're missing some people, but like still, like I'm fine with the roster. The creation suite is still pretty expansive. Like you could still make whoever and whatever you want. You can make championships, arenas, movesets, logos. I still think the creation suite is fine. It's still got issues, but like for the most part, it's still one of the most expansive creation suites you'll ever find in a video game. Also, the new match types. I do want to talk about the new match types. They added 3. Special referee, casket, and ambulance. These match types are fun, and they do add some variety. Although I do think special guest referee is easily the best of the 3, because ambulance and casket are basically the same thing, just different aesthetically. But special guest referee is actually really, really fun, especially if you get a bunch of friends together, like just pure chaos and stuff. I like special guest referee, but it has issues, and the longer the game's been out, the issues have become more and more apparent for anybody that plays them as much as I do. So let's talk about the some of my dislikes. And I know that they're adding stuff in MyFaction, but to me, that's not really content updates. There's no really big updates for like Universe mode, My GM mode, nothing. It's all for MyFaction, and I'll get to MyFaction in a bit because I have a lot on that mode. But it just feels like there's nothing here. Yeah, they have DLC packs. They have, like, you know, the Pat McAfee pack and the CM Punk pack, but overall, it's not real. Like, and I don't expect that. I don't expect it to do like that shit, but it's just like, it doesn't feel like this. It feels like this game is kind of abandoned, which it kind of is. Let's be real. They're already working on 2K25, so. And then Pat McAfee. Oh my god, the Pat McAfee pack. Probably one of the worst DLC packs I've ever seen in a video game. Not a video game, a wrestling game. The Pat McAfee pack might be one of the most controversial packs ever. And I have the pack, and it's pretty ass. Let's be real. It's not good. I don't like it. Like, I don't even know who these people are. And I get it. It's for Pat McAfee and his friends, but at the same time, it's like, I'm a wrestling fan, not a Pat McAfee fan. In fact, I think he's really, really annoying on commentary. And finally, I want to talk about Universe mode. This is my bread and butter. I love Universe mode. It is the one mode that I always go to every game. But god, it is so depressing. They don't do anything with it. Like, it's just like, it has the potential to be one of the best modes in all of in the entire game. Like, if you look back to WWE 12 or SVR 2011, that Universe mode was special. That was a great Universe mode. And the fact that they haven't been able to replicate that since is kind of concerning. But it really feels like Universe mode is just there because they know how many people play it. I did a poll on my community to see how many people or what modes people are playing, and this is the results. 75% of people playing Universe mode. Not surprising in my opinion, but at the same time, it just shows why the mode's in. It's because everyone plays it. To be honest, I don't expect 2K to really do anything about Universe mode. It sucks. But it's going to be there, fortunately. But, I mean, it's just never going to get updated because of MyFaction. And now, let's talk about MyFaction. Alright, the ugly. The parts that I really dislike. And the majority of this is probably going to be MyFaction. Alright, let's talk about MyFaction. Look, MyFaction. I understand why 2K invests in this mode. Alright, I get it. Because of money. But god, it feels so bad because it feels like all the tweets and all of the stuff I've seen, all the additional content that's been added to this game is literally been MyFaction and MyFaction persona cards. Personally, I think it's ruined the game, and I believe it's going to get a lot worse as time goes on, because 2K is going to be focusing on this mode and this mode specifically because it generates a lot of money. Not to mention that the persona cards that they're adding are literally the laziest thing I've ever seen. It's literally just characters from the previous 2K games they put behind a paywall. But the problem is that if you're not invested in MyFaction, you're not going to really care. Like, you're not going to care about the persona card that, you know, oh, you could play as a Macho Man Slim Jim when you can just create him in the creation suite. I could go on, but I guess my main gripes with MyFaction is that all the new content that's in the game is basically for this mode. If you don't play MyFaction, you basically get no new content. It's also very greedy and very lazy. Like I mentioned before, they just take characters from previous games, put them behind a paywall for like $100. It's super grindy too, and that's another thing. Now that's the two big things. You either pay to get these dumb persona cards, or you grind. And if you don't like grinding, well, you're kind of out of luck, you know? The online. I know this has been a problem for a long time. Now, here's the thing, is that I do not play online. I don't play online matches at all. So, I don't really have a stake in the game, but I've seen how bad the servers are, and they are bad. Like, the online, I don't understand why it's so bad. I don't understand why they're so bad. I guess because 2K doesn't really have an incentive to fix it, but still, like, it's not good. Like, I'm tired. Like, I don't play online enough, but you know what I do a lot of? Community creations. And oh my god, the servers are so slow, it takes forever to download something, and sometimes you get the content damage message. Online and CC are just completely a lot worse than they were last year, and I don't understand how. And then finally, Showcase. Showcase. I get why they put it in every year, but at the same time, it's such a shit mode. It sucks, alright? I don't think there's anybody in this space that says, hey, I'm a huge fan of Showcase. Like, I don't think I've seen anybody go like, yeah, Showcase is my mode. That's the mode I go to for long-term content, you know? And then I have no opinion. I have no opinion on GM mode and My Rise. GM mode actually looks really good and looks pretty fun, but I just haven't played it. I just haven't had the time to play it yet. But, you know, it seems pretty fun, so I'll probably try it out. As for My Rise, look, this is another mode that I think is actually pretty fun too, but I just haven't played it yet. Overall, I think the game is actually good in terms of its core mechanics and stuff, as well as it has a decent amount of core game modes, but I feel like a lot of them are underbaked. I feel like Wrestling Gifts video, by the way, go check that out, kind of sums up everything pretty well. Like, gameplay-wise, the game actually has a good loop, but overall, it's just like, with the bugs, the greedy microtransactions, it just feels like the game's focus is... It just feels like the game isn't in a good spot. Again, if you don't really play Creation Suite and you just play Exhibition, you probably think the game is actually pretty good. But once you start going under the hood, this game has a lot of issues that will not get fixed because we're 5 months out. We're 6 months out from the next game. So they've all moved on, and hopefully in praying that they fix the game in the next release or whatever. But yeah, those are my thoughts on 2K24, you know?